Hey, up next on the Marmy Rock Show, good friend of the Rock Show. We've had him on before. I am talking with Sean Burgess of Alabama band Dark Before Dawn. Sean, welcome back to the show.
Thanks so much, man. I appreciate you having me. How you been?
I've been great. It's always good talking to you. And full disclosure, man, we know you a little bit outside the show, fellow ship rocker. We became friends before we became fans, and we're fans of the band now. So it's always good to have you on the show.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that for sure.
So, hey, the reason I wanted to get you back on is you've got new music out, and I want you to tell folks about what the title of the new record is, and is there any meaning behind that title?
Yeah, actually, the name of the album is Chapter 2, and as you know, and anybody that has been following us, we went from a female singer to a male singer, you know, and it just basically we had to rewrite a set and just start all over from scratch, basically. So we just kind of thought Chapter 2 seemed appropriate, and that's basically the gist of where the title came from.
Now, I'm going to ask you about the new record, but it just popped into my head. I'm curious, are you able to transform, like when you switch from a female singer to a male singer, can you transform the old tunes still with the new singer?
You know, honestly, we tried to save some of the riffs, and we're just going to, let him write some new lyrics to it. But once you kind of got, I guess you call it muscle memory, you know, and what you used to hearing, it didn't really work out. So we just kind of scratched all those old songs and just wrote new ones.
So we're excited that you guys have new music out. And so tell the world a little bit more about the new record. We know the title now, but tell us a little bit more about, where you guys recorded this and who produced it.
Yeah, we used the same guy that we've been using, Josh Bright. He lives here in Alabama in Boaz, and in our opinion, he's the best one around. You know, I mean, he is such a phenomenal producer. He takes what we bring him and always has these little tweaks and suggestions that he gives us that make the songs perfect. You know, it's like something that we didn't think of, and it may be just a minor little change or something that he comes up with, but it makes a huge difference in the song. And as far as the recording process, he just makes it easy. You know, it's just like he's really, really good at what he does. So big shout out to Josh Bright Recordings in Boaz, Alabama. He's climbing that ladder pretty rapidly. He's worked with Uncle Cracker. Let's see, who else has he been working with recently? I can't think of off the top of my head right now, but he's been flying out to LA some and flying around and working with different, bigger name artists and stuff. So he's doing really well.
Well, the record came out great, and while we like all of the songs, the one I was particularly drawn to was Wide-Eyed Suicide. We actually added it to our Golden Dozen this week, so tell me a little bit about that tune.
Yes, thank you so much for that, by the way. Actually, it's a song, it's about addiction and dealing with an addiction and just kind of watching yourself slowly kill yourself, basically, and overcoming that, and just a struggle of somebody dealing with an addiction and finally in the long run realizing what they're doing and beating it, and coming out ahead. So that's basically what that song's about. It's one of my personal favorites on the EP. I think it's got a good groove, and I just really like the meaning behind it and the lyrics.
I was drawn to it right away. When I went through, I was actually sitting on the beach listening to your record, and that's the first one I hit repeat on, and so I knew, that's always a sign to me when I hit the repeat on a tune that I know it's one that
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So you guys have a big show coming up September 23rd with some amazing other bands, including some fellow Alabamans. Or do you say Alabamese? I don't know what you call yourselves in Alabama, but tell folks about the show.
Yeah, it's a local show with our homies Shallowside. We're all actually from the same town, and they're constantly out on the road, and they very rarely get to do a show here in Coleman. And well, us either. There's not a lot of venues around here that are big enough to support a show that's going to be as big as this one is. And it's us, Shallowside, Waylon, which we've done a few shows with them. Those guys are awesome too.
Absolutely.
And Down South and Jesse Priest. And we're pretty stoked about it. We had a show back in January. It was actually the night before we left for Shiprock last year. we played with Shallow and Saving Abel here in Coleman, and rented out the Civic Center here in Coleman, and I think it holds about 1,000 people, and it was packed. And we finished our set. I got to watch Shallow Side set and watched a little bit of Saving Abel set. Then me and Tracy had to leave because we had to come home and get threw our gear in the car and pretty much headed to the airport.
That's awesome, man. Shallow Side Whalen, good friends of the show. I've had them on many times, and you're right, man. They are like road dogs, both of those bands, big time.
Oh, yeah. Very, very hard-working bands, both of them, for sure.
Hey, so speaking of road dogs, you made a post the other day about something called the Blue Judy. You want to tell folks what the Blue Judy is?
Yes, Blue Judy. We just we bought a van. We bought a van so we can get out and start traveling around a little bit more, and we're pretty excited about it. You know, it's like a little Chevy custom van. It's a older model, but it runs good. My dad's done some work to it, kind of preventive maintenance for us, and I think it's going to work out pretty good for us. It's pretty sweet. You know, there's finally enough room for everybody to ride comfortably and not be so cramped up and everything, so we're pretty excited about it.
Hey, so we mentioned, you know, we actually met you aboard Shiprock, and we became friends with you, and then we became fans of your band through Shiprock. So you mentioned last year, do you have a favorite memory from last year's cruise at all? By the way, we're PG-13 show, so it's in case it ventures off somewhere else.
As far as performances go, I think the highlight of it for me was when Johannes from
Avatar, yeah.
Sorry, when he covered Typo Negative with the guys from Typo Negative. that was pretty amazing. I actually got a chance to talk to him right before he went on stage, and I was like, "Dude, I hear you're about to do some Typo," and he was like, "Yes," and he said, "I am so freaking nervous." He said, "I've never been so nervous in my life." I was like, "No, man, you got this," and he got on stage and just killed it. You know, that was my favorite performance of the whole ship, I think.
Now, you're a veteran cruiser on there. In fact, you know, through them, you've even played on a different cruise. When you're on the boat, like, has there been anybody that you've met that has either sort of mentored you as a musician, or or maybe not on the boat, that's been like a musical mentor to you?
Oh yeah, definitely. I would say Danny Hill. He did our video for Bittersweet back a couple of years ago, which turned out amazing. And he just kind of gives me advice along the way when I need it. He's always been really, really good to me. We hit it off right off the bat. I can't remember how we met. Oh, yeah, Tracy thought he was the singer for Filter. She was like, "Wait, how do I know you?" And he was like, "You probably think I'm the singer for Filter, but I'm not." And then we just hit it off after that and been pretty tight ever since. He's a really good dude. He's probably he's been my motivation a lot of times, and like I said, gave me advice on several different aspects of the music business. So I appreciate that for sure.
So if there's a band listening, and I've met so many bands on that boat that weren't actually playing, but can you talk to like the other bands out there in the world about the value of going on that boat, even if you're not playing the cruise?
Yeah, for sure. Like you mentioned, we actually got to perform on Motorhead's Motorboat. You know, the last one ever, I guess. You know, I don't know, a couple of months before Lemmy passed away, actually. And the first Shiprock I went on, I wasn't even playing in a band at the time. You know, and I kind of got out of it and was frustrated with it and everything, and just being on that ship around that music 24/7 for those 5 days or whatever really, really put a drive in me. And got me started. Like, I came home and we got back. I started looking for musicians to get something going with again. And just by going on that, honestly, like some contacts that I made helped. There's no doubt in my mind, helped get us the gig on playing on Motorboat. And just besides that, just the people that we meet on the ship are huge supporters of music, original music, and do everything that they can to help push bands, you know. So I know that's without my Shiprock family, there's no way our band would have what recognition we have to this day, you know. So that's straight up right there. They really have helped push our name, get our name out there, and like help promote our band every chance they get, which is freaking amazing to me. You know, it means the world to me.
Well, and you're humble too because your band has a lot of talent as well. And I know Shiprock helped, but you guys are a very solid band that stands on their own 2 feet as well. So, hey, I mentioned the road dogs out there, Wayland and Shallow Side. Is that a goal for your band? I mean, people that don't know the industry think, oh, well, everybody wants to tour, but a lot of people have to give up a lot of stuff to go live on the road. Is that a goal for you guys or no?
It is. It is. It's just hasn't been feasible up until now. We haven't had the means to do it really, and like I say, with us just buying that van, that's going to get us out a little bit more to where we can go a little further out and I guess get our feet wet a little more and test the waters and see how much money we can make as we're out there a little bit longer. To see how much money we're going to have to get by. Because it's hard. It's really, really hard to tour and make enough money to pay your bills, I guess.
Absolutely.
And until you get to a certain level to where you're getting played on the radio, I think that would be a big goal. Is to get a song on the radio, because a very popular song on the radio, I should say. I guess so. When you set out on tour that there are going to be people at your show, to at least pay the production cost and all that kind of stuff, and get to the next town, and then still have money to send home, to pay bills and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we're working on. We're really working on that.
Well, we're going to help you guys any way we can in our little humble way here at the Marmy Rock Show. The band's Dark Before Dawn. They're from Alabama. The new EP out right now is entitled Chapter 2, and Sean's been joining us again, and a good friend of the show. Sean, where do you want people to go to buy the music and find all your stuff?
You can find it at any digital outlet, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, just all the major digital outlets, and you can hit up any member of the band if you want a physical copy, and we do PayPal and all that kind of stuff, so we can mail you a CD out, a physical copy if that's what you prefer. Either way, just hit up the band page or my page personally. Either way.
Hey, Sean, man. Dark Before Dawn is the band. Fellowship Rocker. The album is called Chapter 2. Out there right now. Go pick it up. It's well worth picking up off your favorite digital outlet. Sean, thanks a lot for being on the show again, man.
Thank you so much, my friend. I thank you for having me again. It's always a pleasure.